Oh man, alright, here we go. Hey everybody, what's going on? My name is Zeth. Today is Tuesday, August 11th. It's our 121st day together, and it's the second day of summer school, as it says here. And, well, it seems we're going to be talking about magic today, so here we go.
Let's get on with today's lesson.
I know it's hot, everyone, but let's just try and get through class. Focus pocus, everybody. Still, who would have thought people would actually attend this course over the summer? You sure are a curious lot. I'm not really sure what to make of that. Well, anyways, let's talk about something interesting today. All of you future magicians will want to pay close attention. Today's subject is tarot. That's right, those cards often used in fortune telling. Despite originating in 15th century Europe as normal playing cards, tarot cards evolved into tools of divination. Yes, that's correct. There are a variety of tarot card decks, including Marseille and the Rider decks. But today, in honor of the great Crowley, we will be using the Thoth deck.
So, continuing on.
First, let's talk about the composition of the deck. The modern 78 tarot card deck is divided into two parts. There are 22 major arcana, the face cards, and 56 minor arcana, or number cards. The minor arcana are also sometimes called pip cards. The major arcana feature a variety of illustrations on their faces, beginning with the Fool and ending with the Universe. They tell a story in numerical order that represents an individual's journey through life. Pretty common thing in Persona games. Each major arcana represents a stage on that journey, and each stage represents an event an individual must experience to achieve wholeness.
Let's do just that.
They're all important, so let's take a look at each of the 22 cards one by one. The first card, number 0, is the Fool. It represents the beginnings and suggests infinite possibilities, just like with the amount of personas we can get. In other words, the beginning of life. The next card, the Magician, represents action and initiative, but also immaturity. The High Priestess represents contemplation and inner knowledge. The Empress represents both motherhood and maternal love, as well as one's vitality. The Emperor is an opposing card. It represents the fatherhood, as well as leadership and decision-making skills. The Hierophant represents formality and knowledge. It is a symbol for religion.
That is to say...
The Lovers represents choice. Here, the individual finally begins to develop a conscience. The Chariot represents the individual's victory, but only a momentary one. So victory, but only momentary. That's kinda weird. I won't lie, I forgot about that. Justice is exactly what it sounds like, knowing what is right and what is wrong. Alright, fair is fair. The Hermit represents self-reflection, in other words, searching for answers deep within one's heart. Fortune represents fate and the opportunities it brings. Strength represents both passion and self-control. It is depicted as power with reason. The Hanged Man reflects the individual's inability to take action. Damn, that's crazy. The guy who's hanging can't take action. No, that makes sense. You know, I can't say that's not true. Spiritual death awaits the individual with the 13th card, which is aptly named Death. Then after Death, we have a bunch of other ones that kind of change things up. Death is considered a transitional card. With Death, the old ends and the new begins. Yep, there we go.
Alright.
Now, let us move on to what happens following the transition. Temperance is the balancing of opposites. Opening one's eyes to the world allows for growth. Then an encounter with the devil is where one faces temptation. At the Tower, the individual's values will start to collapse. It seems as if there's nothing to believe in. The individual then finds a glimmer of hope in the Star, granting one peace and serenity. In turn, this makes one vulnerable to the Moon's illusions, which gives way to fear and trepidation. But the individual may be rewarded with a bright future by the Sun, which signifies true achievement. Judgment awaits the individual at the journey's end when looking back on the path one has traveled. Final card is the Universe, which represents the individual reaching full awareness. And that's the growth of an individual as explained by the tarot cards. Okay. Perhaps all of this talk about life doesn't hit home with you young folks just yet, hmm?
Well then.
Well, now you can use all 78 cards to divine the future in detail. But most people only use the 22 major arcana. Okay, next let's talk about fortune telling using the major arcana. First, we'll need to shuffle the cards. If a card is reversed, its meaning will change. Now, this is important, so pay attention. Yeah. Mr. Itogawa continues to drone on and on. Despite the summer heat, I managed to pay attention to his lecture. And we get more academics. Good. Alright, so that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed, even though it was a big yap. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.